This painting is by Henry Fuseli, F-U-S-E-L-I. It's called The Oath of the Ruttli, R-U-T-T-L-I. It dates 1779 to 1781. It's a large painting, 105 inches by 70 and an eighth inches. It's in the Kunsthaus in Zurich, Z-U-R-I-C-H, Switzerland. Henry Fuseli was born in Zurich, Switzerland. He was the son of Johann Caspar Fuseli, a painter and art historian and civic official, and Elizabeth Wasser. Fuseli studied theology at the Caroline College in Zurich. He was taught by the philosopher Karl Bodmer and also Breitinger. He befriended Johann Caspar Lavater, L-A-V-A-T-E-R. Fuseli and Lavater co-published a pamphlet attacking corruption of the magistrate Grebel, and because of this they were in fact both asked to leave Zurich in 1762. In 1764 and 5, Fuseli traveled to London. He translated Winckelmann's Reflections on Painting and Sculpture of the Ancient Greeks. In 1767 he met Reynolds, Joshua Reynolds, who encouraged him to paint. A fire in 1770 actually destroyed all of his literary manuscripts. He was subsidized by the banker Thomas Coates, C-O-U-T-T-S, to travel to Italy, 1770 to 78. He was based in Rome, then he traveled to Venice, Naples, and Turin. His travels to North Italy, he stayed in Switzerland, where paintings, portraits, beginning his work on the Oath of the Ruttli for the Zurich Town Hall at this particular time. In 1779 he returned to London. This particular painting commemorates the beginning of the Helvetian Confederation, H-E-L-V-E-T-I-A-N, the Latin name for Switzerland. This was the first federal pact that was signed by representatives of the three cantons, C-A-N-T-O-N-S, Uri, U-R-I, Schwyz, S-C-H-W-Y-Z, and Unterwalden, U-N-T-E-R-W-A-L-D-E-N. This occurred in August of 1291. The representative leaders, Walter Fürst, F-U-R-S-T, Werner Stauffacher, S-T-A-U-F-F-A-C-H-E-R, and Arnold von Melchthal, M-E-L-C-H-T-A-L, were all major landowners with some select delegates. They met at night in the Ruttli, a secluded alpine meadow above the Mittenstein on Lake Uri. The Mittenstein is M-Y-T-E-N-S-T-E-I-N. Lake Uri is U-R-I. Just before dawn, each one raised his right hand toward heaven and swore a solemn alliance, which became known as the Eternal Covenant. All that at that very moment the sun shot its first rays through the clouds and across the top of the Mittenstein mountain. Fuseli's work focused on the three heroic figures who take up almost all the picture space. They're projected from a very low vantage point. They are very long figures and also very powerful in their upper bodies. The left hands are clasped together in a pledge of unity. Three fingers raise the traditional gesture for the oath of the Confederacy. The central figure holds a sword that is strongly silhouetted by the bright flash of light that passes through the dark clouds. Foreshortening, especially in the foreground figure, the left figure who is close to us. This reminds us of the Mannerist painting. Facial expressions appear strong and vigorous. There was a Franco-Swiss pact signed in 1777, where Switzerland provided military and trade advantages in return for the union, happiness, and security of the Swiss Confederacy. The ancient deputies gathered at the town hall to render the Helvetian three-finger salute that we see here. Escher, Escher, the silk manufacturer and politician and patron of Fuseli, would actually lead this particular oath of alliance in the name of the Confederacy. This work by Henry Fuseli is called Nightmare, oil on canvas, 39.25 inches by 50 inches. It was exhibited at the Royal Academy of Arts in 1781, and many felt that it was his masterpiece. The interior is steeped in shadow, except for a woman, a horse, an incubus, which are lit as if by violent streaks of lightning. A sense of flagrant invasion of privacy and random violation of an intimate space. This work created a sensation at the time. Walpole, W-A-L-P-O-L-E, called it shocking. Fuseli presented his nightmare subjects in the popular convention of dream pictures. It was usual to show persons asleep with their dream figures around them. He expressed the new romantic tendency to display in artworks what one feels about the subject, not just what is seen here. In this painting we sense what is felt by the dreamer with the intensity and instantaneousness that makes us feel that the event is occurring before our eyes. Fuseli subscribed to the Enlightenment belief that dreams were caused by some physical disturbance rather than the Christian belief that nightmares were works of demons, or the mythological belief that dreams were warnings of coming events from spirits in the night. The rationalist English philosopher John Locke wrote that, quote, "The dreams of sleeping men are, as I take it, made up of the waking man's ideas, though for the most part oddly put together." End of quote. According to Locke, such ideas are likely received from sensations and reflections. Thus, the horse and the incubus in Fuseli's painting are not seen, but they are felt by the viewer. In her difficult position, the figure in this painting could see neither creature. The looking glass, a symbol of the imitative or mimetic theory of art, shows no image at all. We are led to conclude that the nocturnal appearance of the creature is a fragment of the viewer's imagination, which Fuseli has the power to create for himself in the viewer. Fuseli presents in his painting a combination of science and folklore. Dr. Samuel Johnson wrote in his dictionary that the nightmare was, quote, "a morbid oppression in the night, resembling the presence of weight on the breast," end of quote. This weight was physically characterized by Johnson as an incubus, I-N-C-U-B-U-S. In his book on Fuseli's nightmare, Nicholas Powell cites Dr. John Bond, B-O-N-D, John Bond's essay on the incubus or nightmare, published in 1753. Bond wrote that, quote, "The nightmare generally seizes people sleeping on their back, and often begins with frightful dreams, which are soon succeeded by a difficult respiration, a violent oppression of the breast, and a total privation of voluntary motion." End of quote. Such people sigh and moan as they hang in the, quote, "jaws of death," unquote. Horst Janson, Janson, in his essay on the nightmare painting, suggests that the night creature that sits on the sleeper's chest, the subject of the nightmare, could be male or a female night witch or hag, a male in Fuseli's Swiss homeland. The suspension of the sleeper's will was noted by Erasmus Darwin, Fuseli's patron. Powell, on the other hand, points to the significance of the fiery horse, or the Mara, M-A-R-A, a spirit in Northern and Central European mythology connected to suffering and troubled sleepers. A Swiss legend states that the Mara penetrates through a keyhole in a bedroom in the appearance of a steed who lays her hoof on the sleeper's chest and with glowing eyes stares at him or her in the most menacing manner. On the back of this painting, in the Detroit Institute of Art, the earlier version of two paintings, is an unfinished portrait of a beautiful woman who may be Anna Landolf, Landolf, the niece of Fuseli's best friend Johann Lavater, Lavater, sometimes pronounced Lavater. Fuseli was very much in love with her. When Anna's parents arranged her marriage to a well-to-do merchant in 1779, Fuseli was distraught, suffering from unrequited love. He was still preoccupied with feelings about Anna when he painted this painting. The sensual aspect of the figure's pose and the incubus on her chest may suggest a threatening and even violent confrontation between male and female characters and adversities.